So those are the Asian Kabobs, and I put pear on them. So I soaked the pears in lime juice so that they would hold their color. I don't know if it helped, but I tasted one of these kebabs and it's delicious. And that's the soup. And James is having smoothie. I'm having smoothie. We're going to review Tomb Raider and Touch. Butterflies of British Columbia. And we've already talked about birds. And basically, the recipe for the Asian balls is a lot like this other recipe that I used to make patties days ago. Only I'll talk about the differences. So I wrote down these today. I was talking to Google's AI. And first I found beet pulp and I'm like, huh? But then that's dry weight, and I'm like, I wonder if that's right. And then I was looking into some of the sites, and they were talking about sugar beets. So I guess they use sugar beet pulp to feed to horses. Anyway, but then I asked about fresh beets. That's how many carbs, 1 cup net carbs. And then the juice, 8 ounces, it takes 2 to 3 cups. So I put 2.5, 9.2. times 2.5, 23. And so basically there's no net carbs, as far as I can tell, in beet pulp. Almost, right? So I was wondering, well, why is it so different then? Because it seemed, when I was reading oh, this is my fancy outfit today. Very good. I've always wanted to wear this. I bought this years ago. I think maybe even before I started with you. And I've just never had the guts to wear it.
It's over 20 years.
So finally I thought, okay, I'm wearing it today. So anyway, what I did to make the Asian balls is I used the cabbage pulp and I used the cabbage juice in James's soup. So I also used not just cabbage juice, I used shiitake broth because I needed to soak, but not that much of it, right? I needed to soak the shiitake mushrooms to rehydrate them because these aren't fresh shiitake mushrooms because I didn't have fresh. But I generally, the dried shiitake mushrooms, they're generally in my pantry because they're really handy. They have a good beefy flavor to them. And I allowed myself a bit of a treat today. Some dipping sauce for the Asian Kabobs, and wow, did that ever just make them really come alive, even better than just alone. And they're really good. So this is the best kebab so far. It didn't have walnut pulp in it, but if I had nut pulp I would have put in. It didn't take very many egg whites. I use Chinese 5-spice powder, and if you're going to Bulk Barn, they have it as just 5-spice powder. They don't have Chinese in front of it. But, and maybe they were thinking, oh, well, that's, people will just know that's Chinese 5-spice or whatever. But their Panch Phoran is Indian 5-spice, right? So, probably better to put the Chinese in front of that Chinese 5-spice powder because there's other 5-spice powders. So anyway, I did use quite a bit of lupin flour, and yeah, it really worked out well. They rolled really easily, they stayed together well, and everything's good. How's the soup? Good. I figured James would be really hungry because he has been getting treatment today at the hospital, and he doesn't like to, they offer him food there, but he doesn't like to get it, so.
Well, for some reason or other, they offered it late today, so I actually got it, so the fact that I like this is not a function of my hunger, but a function of how it tastes.
I worked so hard today planning for him to be really hungry.
I didn't know, you know.
Yeah. So
I just
now
want to
I
get some
don't know.
free food.
Don't know how this will work out. So, anyway. I don't know what else I was going to say.
See, that shocked the wits out of her. When
Yeah.
found out
The
that had some teeth.
I haven't had any corn yet or anything like that, but yeah, these kabobs very easily could be a keto menu item because, like I said, when you take the juice out of stuff like cabbage or what's another one I was doing? I did beets. I did what else? The walnut.
Yeah. Did you do some broccoli? Yeah.
I don't know what all I did. But anyway, there were different things that I did over the past few days to show what to do with. Anyway, a great thing to do with cabbage pulp is make wontons. But then that's not going to be keto, right? So I'm showing some things that you could go either way. You could be on a carb burning diet or a fat burning diet, and that's going to work for you. So, not the corn. But anyway, so yeah.
That's good corn, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. And the green stuff in James's soup is kale. Anyway, so Tomb Raider. I put a top of the stack against this because honestly I don't like drama sort of things, and I was hating this couple so much while I was watching it.
That seems to happen in movies more and more. It doesn't matter if it's a couple, hero, whatever.
Yeah, I think just I can't relate to most people now. I think that's what it is because
it's not that she's changed.
Yeah.
It's people, you folks. The majority of you have changed, and not for the better. No, there are some exceptions, so don't take it to heart if you're a nice person. But
yes. Like, I saw Tammy on the way back. She was very nice. She said goodbye and everything. So I went to grab a couple burgers from the thingy. It's Whoop Up Days. The start of Whoop Up Days today.
In front of the City Hall.
In front of City Hall. And she hadn't known that there were. So I hope she managed to get there in time to get herself a burger. But anyway, I wasn't planning on feeding James the burgers today anyway because I was already... I mean, I got up at around 3:30 this morning and started planning all this, right? Started doing the juicing and whatever.
As she said, a busy day.
Had a busy day. Anyway, so I do like this gal as Tomb Raider as Lara Croft. Well
she's
enough.
More realistic. Like how many times would you run across an archaeologist or whatever, a Tomb Raider one is supposed to be, and also is more powerful than a Navy SEAL. I mean, and then have hot looks like Angelina Jolie. Well, it's just, it would be a miracle. So this woman, spoiler alert or whatever, she doesn't have Angelina Jolie's hot looks, and she looks
she's
more anorexic than Angelina Jolie usually.
Well, yeah, she's very lean. A lot of muscle. Like, she has a six-pack and stuff, but...
not a good look on
whatever. I mean, I sit down and I have all this Shar-Pei skin, and I'm like, but I think I look pretty good. Whatever. Yeah, the show. The one thing about it, this was set in, like, obviously the pandemic times. People are wearing masks. This guy, he's an old guy, and he's flying around the world trying to find this woman. He goes back to Japan. And it really bothered me because he wasn't one, during a pandemic, you're going on a trip.
Yeah, that's the real problem with pandemics.
Jerk.
Trips should be cut.
Yeah.
So that people don't have to do social distancing. The goods
should be traveling.
Don't have to wear masks.
Yeah, people shouldn't be. And then there wouldn't be problems with it. Anyway, so he's around and he's not. Other people are wearing masks and stuff, and he's not wearing a mask very often at all. And then when he was wearing a mask, he was doing the thing where he was just covering his mouth, not his nose, which so many people were doing that. And it's, what, you don't breathe through your nose? Like,
apparently not. Mouth breathers are all
ridiculous. So anyway, so this guy was really bothering me, and it didn't help as the story went along. This was far more entertaining, and whatever.
It's designed for the Game Boy or whatever. Xbox,
and I don't really
Game
want to
Box,
hear about Hiroshima
Xboy.
and stuff like that.
Oh, is that
much
in there?
anymore. Yeah, made its way in there. So whatever, don't care.
Almost as many people, or more people, got killed in England over a long period, World War II, than got killed in Nagasaki in World War II. You got that clear? It was run in one day in Nagasaki. It was done over several nights and days in London, but the total is the same. The Japanese suffered way fewer deaths than the Germans did, way fewer deaths than the Russians did, more than the English, way more than the Americans. But they're the ones who decided to attack like mad. Before they attacked the Americans, they'd been going at it for 4 years, doing all sorts of atrocities, war crimes, whatever you want to call it. So
So I already talked about beautiful birds. I love this so much. I wish that I could just hang on to it and watch it every day. But it's due back to the library, so I have to bring it back. Because it's just wonderful for me. I especially like watching the hummingbirds one, but both of them are wonderful.
What's that, a bird of paradise?
Yeah. I guess one of them. I don't know.
We had bird of paradise plants in Africa. I can't plus them a bird of paradise.
So, now, if you've been watching my other videos, you'll know that I've been chasing butterflies this summer. And not with a net. I'm just with my camera. And I have this book that I bought from a library book sale because it was discarded. And I'm like, why would they discard this? This never should have been discarded. But I'm thankful that I have it, so now I don't have to return this one. But this one I have to return today. So I got it.
Next year? It could easily be on sale.
No, because, well, not here, because this is not from our library. But actually, I'm glad that I got this out, because sometimes the butterflies, like if you don't know how they might, if you can't imagine how they would look if they're perched in a different way or whatever, it's sometimes hard. You see the pictures, and they're very good pictures. This is a great book, this Alberta butterflies. But sometimes it's really hard for you to look at them and go, is that that? Or is that? And so many times I was looking at the butterflies and going, in my videos, and saying, I don't think it's any of these, and it was very frustrating for me. And so I got this one out, and then one had a picture of a butterfly. I guess I'll show you because I have it bookmarked. So, see, I don't know if you can tell here, this pose is a little bit different, but this pose is the one that was in my video. The butterfly had actually taken that exact pose, and I was like, that's what that is. But from there, I couldn't tell. So this is basically what the picture in my book is like that, right? But this is the pose, and you can see it's if you don't know butterflies, you might get confused. At least I did. So when I saw that one like that, then it helped me kind of figure out the other kinds of butterflies too. Because then I realized, okay, I have to try to picture them. If they're in that sort of pose, I have to picture them this way and bring the stuff out. So I'm glad that I got that book out from the library. Having said that, I do prefer this one, but this one's great too. So this one's very handy, the way it has things marked, because it'll show including Western Alberta, Southern Yukon, the Alaska Panhandle, Washington, Northern Oregon, Northern Idaho, and Northwestern Montana. So it'll have a picture of where they are and it could be lots up here and down right. And anyway,
It's
So-
funny how they cluster, but not. Sometimes the clusters are spread out.
yeah. Well, some of them are just wild. Some of them, they're all over the place. It seems, or there's like a little bit. Like, see, there's some way
Yeah.
over here, way up there. What's he
Way
doing
up
up there?
In the
There's
Yukon
nothing in
and the
between.
Northwest, right?
Somehow he's way up there. You know, and most of them are down here, so I don't know what's going on there, but some of them decide to go way up higher. So anyway, and another reason why I did the cabbage stuff today is because you're probably noticing lots of cabbage butterflies out there, and they are butterflies. They're often called cabbage moths. They're not moths, they are butterflies. So they're the white ones, and not all of the white ones that you're seeing are cabbage butterflies. There are a lot of western whites out right now too, and honestly I can't tell the difference between the different whites. There's one that's in Waterton and it's not here, so I know when I see a white that's like a western white.
Not here in Lethbridge.
Yeah, it's not in Lethbridge. Anyway, I'm going to try to find. I should have bookmarked that one, but I wasn't planning on talking about it. Western white, 123. So, yeah. So there's the cabbage butterfly, and then the western white looks quite a bit, to my eyes, like the checkered white. So you can look them up online and go, what?
Yeah,
What?
they kind of look.
They look the same. So, I don't know. I've filmed some, and honestly, I can't tell you whether they were western or checker. But I'm kind of leaning towards western all the time when I'm filming them, and that may not be the case. But anyway, so that's all I really had to talk about. I was sitting here waiting for James and reading this, but I'm getting through it.
She used the time somewhat usefully. She's got to get through it to
Yeah.
review it. Reading Margaret Atwood is not the most utilitarian activity a person can get involved in, based on my reading of her poetry and the occasional reading of 10 pages of each one of her novels that I've bothered to check out or whatever. Hard to get past this first.
Best
10
kabobs
pages.
I've ever made. So delicious. James is gonna love it.
Yeah.
All right. So
7 minutes.
lots of time.
How much?
11.
Okay, I'm off by 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm a little loopy from the treatment that I just finished taking. It takes about, well, technically it takes an hour and 40 minutes, but there's setup time and all that sort of stuff. So it seems like it takes walking there, walking back, setup time, treatment, and having a shower afterwards. I have 2 usually before. It seems to take about 3 hours. All told. Anyway, here we go. Annals of the Kings of Assyria. The reprint of the cuneiform text with translations and transliterations from the original documents. Now, some of the earlier things seem to have been kind of like written in later script, but maybe I can't imagine. Anyway, put together by a guy who's not thought that well of nowadays amongst students of Near Eastern archaeology or studies or philology, whatever. E.A. Wallace Budge. So if you run across a reprint of an Egyptian Book of the Dead, chances are it was put out by E.A. Wallace Budge. So that's I think he was the keeper of the antiquities of the British Museum. Let's see, E.A. Wallace Budge was keeper of Egyptian and Assyrian, so this is Assyrian, Antiquities at the British Museum from 1894 to 1924. So this thing, when does it date from? 1906, I'm guessing. Yeah. Like I say, it's very much a reprint. Originally published in 1902, so 4 years before. Whatever, and that's what cuneiform looks like when it's written very, very well in rock. Or, it's a limestone tablet carved there.
That slave earned his keep that day.
Well, or whomever. I'd say it would be a scribe.
Okay, so not a slave.
Educated person. Yeah. Now, some of the things, this thing it looks like it's scribbled. It's earlier, right? And they weren't as wealthy as this. The king put out maybe half of these inscriptions. Was the first of the Assyrian people, the Assyrians that did this. So it's actually more than half. I can tell, more than half. Just put out one guy. He ruled. What was it, 1885 maybe to 885 to 859. BC. It's a long time ago, but it's actually fairly recent. So let's see what they say. 885. Well, they say 860. It'd be 884 to 859. They're off for some reason by 1 year, apparently. You have to be skeptical, but these are actual. They're attempting to be actual dates, not approximations. Not like Egyptian dating system. Okay. So Adad Nerari from 911 BC to BC 890. The Assyrian dating system is good to the beginning of this guy's reign, Adad Nerari. We've only got, or they had back then in 1902, only one inscription by him. And there it is. So if you wonder what cuneiform looks like, I'll get you some stuff, or there's more stuff per page. Look at the top there. That's what it looks like. There's a translation, and underneath the transliteration into Latin script, very important. So we're going to look at some of these inscriptions. This comes, someone was asking a while back, Pauline, to get me to put, to render a list of essential reading. Now, you don't have to get hold of this. You don't have to own it. I own this. You know, what library are you going to get it from? It'd have to be a select university library, I think. You can actually find it on the internet now. All the Assyrian inscriptions, royal inscriptions, you can find on the internet. It's a little bit of a pain finding them, but not as painful as a lot of things. But you can actually get hold of, in translation, so what I'm saying is you can get the cuneiform text in, I think, 3 different forms, at least 2 different forms on the internet. What university? I think it's the University of Pennsylvania, UPenn, located in Philadelphia. You can get some amazing stuff. So so you can get hold of something put out roughly at the same time as this originally was published, put up maybe a little bit later by a guy called Luckenbill, however you want to mispronounce it. I'm not sure where he worked out of, maybe the University of Chicago, but I'm not sure. You can look that stuff up, and it has the translations in English. Some of the translations from this stuff are a little too much like the King James Version of the Bible, so archaic, and put into archaic English, much more archaic than English found around 1900 AD. But what I want you to notice, when and if you get hold of Luckenbill's Assyrian annals or royal annals or whatever. Annals are basically year-by-year accounting. Or you're lucky if you get a year-by-year accounting with the Assyrians, but some of them, some of the Assyrian kings were pretty ambitious, and some of them are going out in their more youthful years, and taking people on and stuff like that. But and behaving like the monsters that they were. So let's just see if we can see. So a spoiler alert, if you're at all sensitive about violence, can't watch CSI Miami or whatever, Las Vegas, you might not like this. So forced labor I imposed upon the lands of Nari, so that would be kind of south of Romania, an eastern part of Turkey, bordering on Syria, probably more in Turkey. During my return from among the lands of Nari, the land of Nerbu, which lieth in the midst of the mountain of Kashiari, revolted. Their 9 cities they deserted, and the city of Ishbalibria, their stronghold, and in a or fortress, whatever. And a steep mountain they put their trust. I stormed the peaks of the mountain and took them. In the midst of the mighty mountain I slaughtered them. Well, I guess that was in battle. And with their blood I dyed the mountain like crimson wool. The rest of them I destroyed in the valleys and on the cliffs of the mountains. And I carried off their spoil, that would be like plunder, and their possessions. The heads of their warriors I cut off, so I presumably they are dead already. And I piled them in a heap over against their city. Now we're getting what was called by one guy writing the Cambridge Ancient History, very English. What did he call it? Calculated frightfulness, which is basically calculated terror. Okay, calculating terror. The heads of their warriors, I'm repeating a little bit, I cut off, and I piled them in a heap over against their city. And their young men and their maidens I burned in the fire. I don't know how young, but you can maybe guess. The pass of Buliani I entered, and I marched into the district. Now understand, this is before 859 BC. Right? You know, like atrocities weren't invented by German Nazis or by Russian Bolsheviks or even by Muslims, like Muslim conquerors, like Umar or Omar, however you want to mispronounce his name. And I marched into the district of the river Lukia. During my advance, I conquered the cities of the land of Kirki, which lie in the pass. I slaughtered their inhabitants in great numbers. Inhabitants, not so much soldiers. I carried off their spoil, and their cities I burned with fire. Fun times. I came up from the pass of the city of Ardupa. At that time, I received tribute from Ahiram, so it's like one-time tax. It's kind of like extortion, right? Yeah, don't kill us. Do all this stuff you're doing to other people. There's a bunch of our wealth. Former. The son of Yahiri of the land of Tsali, the son of Bakiani in the land of Hatti, and from the kings of the land of Hanagalva, silver and gold, and lead, and vessels of bronze, and cattle, and flocks, and horses. In the eponymy, so this is a different year. Eponymy, they named their years
after. There's a cabbage butterfly right behind you right now.
Okay, so can you get it on camera?
I don't know. Probably not,
yeah.
But if you can see behind James, there's a cabbage.
Yeah, I can't turn around because my back's hurting from a variety of things I was doing today. Not least of which was just sitting in a very uncomfortable chair, getting treatment for cancer. In the eponymy of Asher Eden,